let me propose the following thought experiment. You enter a room, and you are starving. You haven't eaten for a long time. And once you enter this room, you see two different tables offering food. Both tables offer the same quality of food. Table 1 produces a lot of food, but the table is overcrowded with people, fighting for each piece with only a few seats left. Table 2 doesn't offer as much food, but no one is at the table, leaving enough good food for you to be satisfied with. Which table will you choose to eat at? If you choose table 2, then you are making a logical choice. Why should I go over there to table 1 and fight for whatever food that might be left when I can have the same quality of food over at table 2 and not have to do anything? It's the same mentality as to why some professional athletes sit the benches as reliable backups instead of trying to fight for the top spot. Why compete when you can go over to that table or that team or anything similar and have what you are seeking without breaking a sweat? You can have the food you desire, you can have the trophy you wish to chase, and you don't even have to lift a finger as long as the right opportunity comes around. And this thought experiment proposes that opportunity firsthand. You can skip the competition altogether and go straight towards what you desire right now if you want. Now one's mind can be tricked into thinking that whatever is at table 1 must be something special that everyone will want to get. But both tables offer the same quality of food as stated in the beginning. The only reason people might go over there to table 1 is because table 1 is offering more food to accommodate for multiple people at table 1. But you're not going to be offered a lot of options to begin with at table 1 because everyone is going to be fighting for each piece. You might scrape a little bit here and there, but you won't get much anyway. But at table 2, you can have any food you wish and desire from the beginning and not having to wait. Now, this entire thought experiment is a criticism of competition in business. Many sources through multiple media heads have said to not regulate companies and let them compete. Leave them alone and let them compete. Let the free market do its thing. However, when you consider this thought experiment and how that no one is willingly going to compete against each other for little scraps when they can have their cake and eat it too without having to compete, this entire let companies compete argument goes down the drain, especially when you consider history and how the monopolies of Rockefeller and Carnegie controlled everything. This is where net neutrality comes into play. ISPs are notorious for being anti-competition and breaking the law to do so. For example, in 2007, Comcast secretly blocked and slowed down file sharing applications, also known as peer-to-peer technologies. From 2007 to 2009, AT&T forced Apple to block Skype on iPhones and other competing voice-over internet protocols known as VoIPs. From 2011 to 2013, AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon blocked Google Wallet from competing against another mobile payment system that these three companies invested in called ISIS. Yes, ISIS. Those are just a few examples of the multiple breaches and violations of the law by these ISPs for their own personal gain. This is why you can't completely trust that companies will compete or want to compete, because they will all twist the market and block other competition in order for the market to go its way, and they will stay on top. This is why net neutrality is necessary for the proper function of the internet and our society, so that ISPs don't control who or what goes on the internet. It is complete free market distortion, and websites and applications that wish to rise out from the dark will have to deal with these blockages and being slowed down. Now, this does not mean that the government should be trusted. The government and politicians has always been very untrustworthy. I will continue to voice for limited government until my death. But that doesn't mean that companies like Comcast or AT&T, who have complete control over the market of ISPs, should be trusted either. Just because you have a general distrust in the government doesn't mean that every business deserves to be deregulated. The oil business is regulated for a reason. Banking is regulated for a reason. And ISPs need to be regulated for a reason. We need net neutrality so that the likes of Comcast and AT&T can be held accountable for when they break the rules. They don't want to compete in the market, they want to control and own the market. That's what many people don't understand about business, and that's why this thought experiment is here for have this criticism of competition in business. They could be just as ruthless and uncaring as any government. And they want to be on top every time, and they will swipe away any competition to make sure of it. This is why we need net neutrality, and this is why too big to fail businesses can't be trusted. This is not about equality. This is about being fair. This is what Teddy Roosevelt believed in when he set forth the policies to bring down the corrupt monopolies of Rockefeller, Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and the likes. We have the right to continue that belief into the future. The internet deserves that.